Now, in the second part, let me introduce a very innovative Japanese company, Honda. You know Honda. So there are so many Honda motorcycles in Cambodia. So therefore, I want to introduce Honda as the company truly knowledge creating company. Okay. I think Honda is so popular here in Honda is so popular here in Japan. Here in the Cambodia. I think you have good knowledge about this company, but let me show the short video summarizing the history of Honda, starting from its founding. So the Honda is a good example of the knowledge creation. I think in our opinion, Honda is the knowledge creating company because Honda is companies which have been always driving innovation, and innovation means creating new knowledge. And in the first part, I talk about the Phronetic leadership, which is required for you to drive innovation. Especially recently, innovation it should be achieving two goals at the same time: the growing business and the working for the society, serving social issues. Actually, in the video, you saw the Honda is a company of changing themselves. So at the beginning, Honda started as a company producing motorcycles. Okay? So at the very beginning, Honda was a company for producing motorcycles. But then they began to produce automobiles in addition to the motorcycles. But now, so next year, they will be releasing first Honda Jet. So they are seriously doing that business. So also, as you saw in the video, they are now developing Ashimos, robots, and they are doing this as serious business. It may be taking time for Honda to release the product, the robot as a product, but they are doing it very seriously. So the Honda is a company of chasing their dreams. So the Honda is not a company for producing motorcycles. Honda is not a company producing automobiles. Honda is not a company producing robots, Ashimos. Honda is not a company producing Honda Jets. Honda is a company which is always chasing ideal transportation. This is a dream, and their dream is never achieved. No end in their journey for achieving their dream. In order to achieve their dream, they have been always changing themselves. This is the case for IBM. IBM started as a company producing tableting machines. But since then, IBM have been changing themselves while doing innovation. If you want to drive innovation, you have to innovate yourself. You have to innovate yourself. You have to change yourself continuously. But Honda is a company for chasing the dreams. So this is their identification. Also, in driving innovation, in the first part of this session, I emphasize the importance of the Phronetic leadership. In that case, the development of the CC engine is a good case for demonstrating the Phronetic leadership. So the very the severe regulation was began to discuss at the U.S. Congress, Clean Air Act, proposed by Mr. Muskie. So therefore, that act was called Muskie Act. It's a very tough, tight, severe regulation for the automobile engines. To save the planet, to protect the environment. But in order to satisfy that Clean Air Act, it is clear that automobile companies, they have to develop new engines, completely new engines. because that regulation was very severe. So therefore, automobile companies, every single company, they began to calculate net present value, which can gain from the development of the new engines. Okay, so this is kind of the business essential. If you want to start new business, you have to calculate net present value. First, you have to estimate the investment, the money, and you have to calculate the return which you can get from that investment. Then you have to calculate eventually net present value. If net present value is minus, don't do that business. This is business essential. They're coming from the financial discipline. So if you get positive net present value, just do it. So the GM, Chrysler, and also the Ford, they calculated net present value. The answer was minus. That means don't do that business. So therefore, they work together, big three. They negotiated with the US Congress. They worked with they hired lobbyists to scrap the Clean Air Act. Actually, that act was abolished, never discussed at the US Congress. They did a good job to destroy the Clean Air Act. Everything for them to keep the financial healthiness. Don't try to launch business with net present value, with negative net present value. The same calculation was done also by Honda, but their decision was completely different. Yeah, this is a negative net present value business, but should we do it as a company producing automobiles? We have to work with the society. If we can develop very innovative engines which could satisfy the Clean Air Act, the earth will be cleaner, people will be happier, we can protect the earth. The answer is let's do it. Although they got the same negative, net present value. But eventually, they could get a success in developing new engine. The name for new engine is CVCC. And they developed Civic with that engine. And they began to sell Civic with CVCC engine. Then, oil shock, oil crisis did occur in the world. People could not predict this kind of the oil crisis coming to the world. But because of the Civic with very high efficient clean engine, Civic began to sell very well in the US market. So therefore, eventually, because of the release of the Civic with CVCC engines, Honda could establish the leading position in the US market. Everything came from their judgment. Should we do it? Should we develop new engines to satisfy the Clean Air Act? The answer is yes. This is a judgment for the common good, going beyond their self-interest. But this is the point. Actually, the GM and Ford, Chrysler, they calculated net present value based on the data. But the data is about the past. Innovation means future, which might be completely different from the past. So therefore, in driving innovation, data might not be useful because it is about the past. But in driving innovation, you are thinking about the future. Then, how to make a good judgment? Again, this should be coming from the phronesis. Okay? You have to make, you have a clear answer for this question. Is it good, thing for the society, for the common good? If yes, try to do it. So this is kind of the message coming from the concept of the phronetic leadership. Because, in driving innovation means doing something completely new. So in driving innovation, you cannot rely on your past experiences. You cannot rely on data because those things are about the past. But in innovation, you are thinking about the future. So therefore, you have to rely on the common good, the philosophy, the right judgment, and for the working for the good, working for the common goods. And this is kind of the core concept of the Phronetic leadership. Actually, Honda valued philosophy so much. Because in making a judgment, you have to rely on the philosophy. It is the right way for our living. It is justified for the human beings. Everything comes from philosophy. So therefore, in driving innovation, you have to rely on the philosophy. So therefore, this is very famous statement made by Mr. Honda. Action without philosophy. Technology without philosophy is a lethal weapon. But at the same time, you should be very practical. Because business should be very practical. So therefore, philosophy without action is worthless. But technology should be combined with philosophy. So this is kind of everything for you to drive innovation. Innovation is doing something completely new. So in driving innovation, you have to make a key judgment, and in making a key judgment, you have to rely on the philosophy. So, but starting from the dream is quite important. You have a dream, and you want to achieve a dream. But dream is, in order to achieve a dream, you have to drive innovation. So therefore, combination of the dream and the practical wisdom, innovation. So the power of dreams and the technology without philosophy is a lethal weapon, and the philosophy without action is worthless. But let me show the very similar opinion. This comes from Steve Jobs. This was the statement made by him when he released iPhone for the first time. It's technology married with liberal arts. Same opinion. Both emphasize the importance of the philosophy in driving innovation, because innovation is completely new. You have nothing to rely on other than liberal arts, philosophy. And innovation should be for the society, for the best of the society, for the better society. So therefore, you have to rely on, again, liberal arts. iPhone is married with liberal arts, see? Because it's completely new. So the importance of the philosophy, and also that's the reason for the management moonshots for management. In that, they emphasize the importance of the philosophical foundation. Everything for driving innovation. But this is the starting point for innovation is dreams, power of dreams. From dreams, you can get power, because in order to achieve innovation, you have to overcome so many barriers. It's very tough to overcome those barriers. But if you have a very passionate about your dream, you can overcome those barriers. So the dreams give strong power so that you can overcome so many barriers. Therefore, power of dreams. So power of dreams. This should be the foundation, starting point for the innovation by Honda, or the innovation by other companies. And also the Honda defined Honda philosophy. This is kind of defined as kind of mission and values for people working at Honda. And the Honda philosophy shows the way for living for people working at Honda. So the basic principles, respect for the individual, the three joys. And the company principle, maintaining a global viewpoint. We are dedicated to supplying products of the highest quality, yet at a reasonable price for worldwide customer satisfaction. By the way, this philosophy was defined by Soichiro Honda in 1953. That time, they did not produce any single motorcycles to the world. They did not export the motorcycles to the world. But even that time, they wanted to maintain a global viewpoint. That time, they said maintaining an international viewpoint. Why? They wanted to maintain an international viewpoint because they want to develop products which satisfy people all over the world. So for that purpose, they have to develop essential products. Looking for the essentials, and then that was defined as mission statement. Management policies proceed always with ambition and usefulness. Some people may be getting to the retirement age, but still they are requested have the ambition and keep the usefulness. Everything for generating the power of dreams. So these are the kind of defined as the Honda philosophy. The way for for living for people working at Honda. But just identifying, communicating the philosophy, communicating mission, vision, values is not good enough. Okay, this is the Honda philosophy, you have to behave along with those philosophies. That's not good enough. Because people may have difficulty in understanding how to operationalize Honda philosophy in their jobs. Because some people may be working in the R&D department, some people may be working in the manufacturing department, some people may be working in the sales department. Then the key question is how to operationalize the Honda philosophy in each function. If they have the difficulty in understanding how to operationalize Honda philosophy, no execution of the Honda philosophy. So therefore, just showing, just communicating the vision is not good enough. This shows the star model. A star model is emphasize the importance of the close connection among 5 elements, so that the vision will be executed. Okay. So there should be close alignment, close connection between vision and the organization. First, you show the vision, and you have to analyze whether with the current organization, vision could be achieved. If not, you have to change organization. If you cannot, resolve the disalignment between vision and organization, no execution of vision. There should be right and good alignment, tight alignment between vision and organization. Then the vision will be executed. But that's not good enough. There should be also the close alignment between vision and the work processes, how we work. Because each Honda employee, they do their job in each operation. So then you have to develop the processes, appropriate processes, so that the vision will be executed. Otherwise, no execution of the vision. Therefore, there should be the good alignment, tight alignment between vision and the work processes. But again, that's not good enough. there should be the another kind of the tight alignment, good alignment between the vision and the metrics, KPIs, evaluation criteria for people. If not, it may be difficult for people to execute the vision. Tight alignment, strong alignment between vision and the metrics. And finally, there should be tight, strong alignment between vision and the staff and trend. Otherwise, vision will not be executed. So I think STAR model is quite simple, but very powerful. With this model, you are going to analyze how to develop, how to create appropriate organization so that your vision will be executed. With this model, you can analyze the appropriate work processes so that your vision will be executed. Again, with this model, you can analyze the appropriate metrics and appropriate talents so that your vision will be executed. This STAR model, very simple, but very powerful, very powerful. But everything should be starting from the definition of vision. Definition of vision. Then you are going to start your analysis on the other 5 elements. Close connection, tight connection, among the five key elements, and so that the vision will be executed. So let's see the concrete example at Honda. Honda has a very unique organization. For example, their R&D is completely independent. Their R&D is an independent company, completely separated from Honda, motors, the automobile and motorcycle company. Okay. So the Honda headquarters for the producing automobiles, the motorcycles, they have headquarters in Tokyo, Aoyama, near Shibuya. Okay. They have the headquarters for the automobiles, the motorcycles in Tokyo. But their R&D is completely independent. They have the headquarters in Saitama, Wako prefecture. It may be taking maybe 90 minutes from Wako to go to Honda headquarters, located in Tokyo. Complete separation, complete independence. It's quite unique only for Honda. For example, at Toyota, their R&D belongs to Toyota Motor Corporation. This is the case for GM. This is the case for Ford. This is the case for Chrysler. This is the case for BMW. This is the case for Audi. This is the case for Mercedes. Only at Honda, R&D is completely independent. So why? The reason is allowing Honda engineers to chase their dreams. If they work, at Honda headquarters, they may be getting strong pressure when the performance is going bad. Yeah, this did happen after the Lehman shock. Oh, we have to save money. We have to do the cost reduction. So with this kind of financial pressure, chasing the dreams might be difficult. So in order to allow engineers to chase their dreams, R&D is completely separated. So this is kind of the close alignment between Honda vision, power of dreams, and how they work, so that power of dreams will be executed. But also there should be another alignment between actually Honda R&D is a bar, a place, context for chasing a dream. For that purpose, complete independence, clear separation from Honda headquarters. But also there should be another alignment between the vision and how they work. So this is kind of the unique definition for how they work at Honda R&D. Honda R&D is defined as a place for studying human beings. Usually at R&D, people study technologies. But at Honda R&D, they have to study human beings. Why? Again, the importance of the philosophy, importance of human beings. So in developing technology, you have to study human beings because the technology should be bringing benefits to human beings. Okay, so the technology should contribute to the better society, to better human life. So therefore, at R&D, they also study human beings, of course, in addition to technology. So their close alignment, the strong, tight alignment between how they work, the vision, and how they work. So this is kind of the concrete examples for the demonstration of the star model at Honda. And also they have the also this shows how they work. It is critically important for them to chase dreams, to discuss their dreams. But dreams should be achieved. Dreams should be implemented. Okay. Therefore, on one hand, you should be very idealistic, chasing your dreams. But on the other hand, you should be very practical. Otherwise, dreams will not be achieved. So therefore, the important work processes at Honda. The 3 G's. G comes from Gemba. Gemba means actual place. Actual place. That means engineers, you have to go to Gemba. You have to go to the actual place. You have to meet with customers. You have to observe customer behaviors. Very practical. Very practical. So good combination of the being idealistic and being practical, so that your dream will be achieved. This shows how they work. Again, the close alignment, tight alignment between their vision, the power of dreams, and how they work. Then that vision will be achieved. That vision will be executed. So the Honda is a good example, and also the Y-Gaia. This also shows how they work. Very intensive discussions. In that discussion, no hierarchy, no titles, because innovation, great ideas should come from the ideas. Innovative ideas should not come from their titles. Because all the habits they had. We are senior people, they may stick to their old ideas, their favorite ideas. Therefore, for older people, for senior people, for top management, having a very innovative idea might be difficult. So the Y-Gaia is kind of brainstorming session for idea generation at Honda. So in the Y-Gaia discussion, brainstorming, no titles, no hierarchies, because everything for developing, generating new ideas among people working at Honda. So no title, no flat. So so again, the cross alignment between the how they work, the vision, and how they work. So this is kind of the second case, third case study about the knowledge creating company. So the Honda, from the case study of Honda, we learned the importance of the dreams first, and also the importance of the making a judgment on goodness, or making a judgment based on the philosophy. Okay, because innovation is driving something completely new. Also, the importance of the star model, the close connection among the 5 elements: vision, organization, work processes, metrics, and the staff people, and then that vision, dreams will be executed. Okay, so then since today is the session about the Phronetic leadership, this session is focused on that the very important issue. But the Phronetic leadership was developed from the knowledge-based management So therefore, let me introduce briefly the fundamentals of the knowledge-based management. But since time is limited, this is just kind of overview for the knowledge-based management. The key issue for the management study is this question, this one. Why companies are so different? So at the very beginning of this session, I introduced IBM, which is quite different from Apple. Okay? Which is quite different from Apple. So the question is why they are so different? Why they are so different? Because of the strategy, because of the competitive advantages, because of the technology, because of the performance. The answer is they are different because their dreams are different. They are different because their visions are different. So the vision is kind of the key driving force for companies. Vision is a key driving force for countries. A vision is a key driving force for individuals. Okay? You have a dream. You want to achieve that dream. You have a vision. You want to achieve that vision. Then you start innovation. Because dream is not achieved yet. So if you want to achieve, especially achieve a vision, achieve a dream, you have to drive innovation. So the vision will enable innovation. Vision will enable knowledge creation. And so therefore, starting from vision, the knowledge creation will be process will be facilitated. And this is also already emphasized. Innovation means creating new knowledge. And the innovation and knowledge creation promises sustainable growth for company. And in the knowledge for business should be very practical. Knowledge can be created in many functions. For example, knowledge can be created in R&D. For example, new technology. It's a good example for new knowledge developed in R&D. But knowledge can be developed also in manufacturing operation. See, TPS. TPS stands for Toyota Production System. This was knowledge created by Toyota in manufacturing operations. It's a completely new knowledge because with that, Toyota achieved the best quality with the lowest cost. It's amazing. Toyota could achieve the best cost with the lowest cost, the best quality with the lowest cost. How can they do it? Because they created knowledge in manufacturing operations. And in supply chain management, in logistics, recently new knowledge is created by Amazon. They developed new knowledge for logistic management. Because, for example, in Tokyo, Tokyo is almost still, it's already 1 p.m. But, I may be able to order an item on the Amazon website, but within today, I can get it. Amazing. The new item, order the item, will be delivered just 3 hours, 4 hours in Tokyo. How can they do it? Because they developed new knowledge for the logistics management. Amazing. So the knowledge can be created in many functions in organization. And the knowledge is a key source for the competitive advantages. But if you can create a new knowledge, you can lead the market. So but also that knowledge should be also should be shared beyond the regional boundaries. Knowledge sharing is must. As I said, Toyota developed new knowledge for the manufacturing operation, TPS, Toyota Production System, in Japan. But if that knowledge was not shared with people working in the US, they could not produce highest quality car with the lowest cost. But still, in the US, Toyota can produce the highest quality car with the lowest cost. Why? Because knowledge of the TPS is shared beyond regional boundaries. So therefore, knowledge sharing is a must. So therefore, just creating new knowledge is not good enough, or you have to share it beyond regional boundaries. And the knowledge is the key source for the competitive advantages for individuals, for companies, for countries, according to Peter Drucker. Because now we are living in the age of the information and knowledge-based society. Okay, we are living in the age of the information and knowledge-based society, according to Drucker. This point was emphasized in his book, published in 1993. All of a sudden, knowledge became a buzzword for companies, for countries, and for individuals. Then Professor Nonaka published that book, The Knowledge Creating Company, in 1996. Since then, Hito Tsubashi, we are leading the world by developing knowledge-based management, knowledge-based view for the organization. We have been working with a number of companies, global companies, including IBM, and also the Honda, Toyota. Also, recently we also work with Uniqlo, FR Fast Retailing. You may know this company. They are number 4 in the global apparel industry. Number 1 is the Inditex, which has a brand of the Zara. They are number 1. Number 2 is H&M. Number 3 is Gap. Number 4 is Fast Retailing, with the brand of Uniqlo. And we've been working with Uniqlo to develop the unique knowledge for the fashion industry. And then they are growing so fast. Especially they are very strong in Asian countries. So the importance of the knowledge for individual, the companies and countries. Then the question is how knowledge is created in organization. And especially we are interested in the process of creating new knowledge. Then in order to identify the processes for developing new knowledge, first you have to recognize the importance of the 2 categories of knowledge: tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. 2 knowledge. Tacit is not articulated. The other category of knowledge is explicit. It is articulated. Okay? And the knowledge starts as tacit knowledge. If you may have some ideas about new businesses, new product, but from time to time, it is very difficult to articulate our ideas. Oh, I have some ideas, but it's very difficult to talk about my ideas. You might have this kind of experience. That means your ideas is tacit. So every knowledge starts as tacit knowledge. And music score is good example of the explicit knowledge. Okay? But master player, maestro, their performance is far beyond their music score. Okay? So therefore, there should be something tacit element in his or her excellent performance. Tacit, explicit. A good example for the tacit knowledge is a knowledge for riding on a bicycle. Okay? you may want to read a textbook when you want to ride on a bicycle for the first time, but it is very difficult. You have to do it. That means knowledge of the riding on a bicycle is tacit. So therefore, there's a two categories for knowledge: tacit and explicit. And everything starts as tacit knowledge. But if that knowledge remains tacit, it is very difficult for others to share it. Because it is tacit, just it is in your brain. So if your ideas remains tacit, difficult to share it for others. So therefore, you have to try to transform your tacit idea, tacit knowledge, into explicit knowledge. This is the kind of basic process for the knowledge creation. Starting as a tacit knowledge and transforming the tacit knowledge into the explicit knowledge. This is the fundamental process for knowledge creation. But the the actual process is more complicated. But before describing the actual processes, let me introduce the definition for knowledge. This is kind of the universal definition for knowledge. This is the universal definition. Knowledge is defined as justified through belief. Justified through belief. The point is, knowledge starts from your belief. Your belief. You have the actual experiences. You meet customers. You observe customer behaviors. So then you develop strong belief. Belief about new products, new businesses. Since those beliefs are based on your experiences, you have a very strong commitment to that belief. Yeah. Commitment is indispensable because in driving innovation, you have to overcome so many barriers. But if you have a strong belief, you can overcome those barriers. But sometimes we make mistakes. Therefore, your beliefs should be true belief. Your beliefs should be true belief. For that purpose, you have to have so many actual experiences, meeting customers, doing the customer observation. Okay? Then you may be having a strong confidence on your belief. That means you can generate true belief. True belief, with that, you can develop knowledge individually. But if you work in the organization, your belief should be justified by others. Justified by your boss. Justified by the society. If your ideas are not justified by others, no execution of your true belief. Okay. So therefore, this knowledge creation is a dynamic human social process of justifying your personal beliefs toward the truth. Human interaction. You have to justify your true belief. And then if you can succeed in justifying your personal beliefs, your individual knowledge will be organizational knowledge. Justified by organization. So the justified true belief. So in order for you to develop the strong belief, you have to have the actual experiences, observation, meeting with customers. But your belief should be sympathized by others. For that purpose, you may go together to customers to have common experiences. Then your beliefs might be sympathized by others. This might be a new opportunity for us to develop new products. If you have the shared experiences, your individual beliefs might be sympathized by others. Then your knowledge starts at the shifting from the start at the subjective, your subjectivity, and then shifting from the subjectivity to objectivity. So starting as kind of the individual belief to common belief sympathized by others, from subjectivity to reality, objectivity. Okay, but final process is the justification. So the importance of the your beliefs, that beliefs should be sympathized by others, but the final process is again justification. Okay, justification. So that comes to the importance of the philosophy. And the knowledge is a dynamic social process of justifying personal beliefs toward the truth. And the most significant characteristics of knowledge is that knowledge is created by people in the interactions with each other and the environment. Okay? We are now talking about the knowledge created by the organization. It is not knowledge created in a laboratory. Okay? This is a knowledge created in organization by people, by human interaction. And this is kind of the, so starting from the individual belief, and you interact with others, then you have to justify your the personal beliefs. And in the key, the ultimate justification criteria for for knowledge is again philosophy. Okay, as I said, in the case of the Honda, how Honda justifies their belief for developing new CVC engines. Based on the philosophy, it is writing for human being. So this is kind of the ultimate justification criteria, and this is kind of the message coming from Steve Jobs. And then so you have to go through the processes to create new knowledge. So this is a very famous Seki model developed by Professor Nonaka, describing the process of developing new knowledge. Seki comes from SECI. S stands for the socialization. E stands for the externalization. C stands for the combination. And the I stands for the internalization. S, the socialization is the very first step, first process in knowledge creation. Socialization. In that, the very first process, you develop your tacit knowledge. You meet with customers. You observe customer behaviors. Then gradually, you can develop your knowledge. Knowledge might be about new technology. Knowledge might be about new product. Okay. Knowledge might be new manufacturing operations. So in the socialization, through your direct experiences, you develop knowledge. But in the very first phase, that knowledge is very tacit. Tacit. You have some ideas in your brains. So this is the very first stage of the knowledge creation. That's quite essential. So the creation of knowledge, creation of tacit knowledge. This is the very first step for knowledge creation. But if that knowledge remains tacit, it is very difficult for others to shape. Therefore, that tacit knowledge should be articulated. For that purpose, you have to go to the second phase, second process, externalization. In that process, you try to externalize your tacit knowledge so that others can share it. So therefore, from tacit to explicit, which should be done in the externalization. Okay? Then, in order to develop new knowledge, you have to combine various explicit knowledge. For example, in order to launch a new product, you have to combine knowledge created by people working in R&D. Also, you have to combine that technology knowledge should be combined with manufacturing knowledge. Otherwise, technology will not be produced. Also, that knowledge should be combined with knowledge created in the sales and sales department. Otherwise, that knowledge might not be solved. So therefore, eventually, you have to combine various explicit knowledge. So this should be done in the combination phase, combination process. Then finally, internalization. So in that final process, you execute the knowledge which was created through these three processes. The final stage for the knowledge creation. You implement, you embody the new knowledge. So that means you release new product. You launch new manufacturing operations. So this should be done in the combination. But at the same time, you have to internalize that knowledge within yourself. So with that, your individual knowledge will be enhanced. Because so the new knowledge is an outcome of the combining various knowledge. So therefore, in the final stage, you internalize that knowledge, then your individual knowledge will be enhanced. Then with that, you go for another new knowledge creation. So therefore, knowledge creation is a kind of spiral up process, cyclic process, always moving up. Starting from the socialization, developing tacit knowledge through direct experiences, moving to the externalization, you try to articulate your tacit knowledge so that more people can share it. This should be done in the externalization. Also in a combination, you combine various knowledge of the technology, new technology should be combined with the new manufacturing operations. That should be combined with new sales activities so that knowledge will be released to the market, combination. And finally, you implement that knowledge. That means you release new product to the market. At the same time, you internalize that knowledge within yourself. Then your knowledge, individual knowledge, will be enhanced. With that, you go for another new knowledge creation. So this process is never ending. It's going spiraling up. So this is the famous, the cyclic process. Yeah, cyclic process in more detail. In the socialization, sharing and creating tacit knowledge through direct experiences, actual experiences. In the externalization, you have to articulate tacit knowledge through dialogue and reflection. You try to articulate. So that the others can share it. The combination, you have to integrate, combine various tacit knowledge. They finalize the learning and acquiring new tacit knowledge in practice. Okay? You do it, you implement new knowledge, then the new knowledge will be implemented. At the same time, through that experiences, you internalize that knowledge within yourself. Okay? So the cyclic process in more detail. Yeah, this should be kind of the actions which should be done in each process, and I think it may be useful for you to read it later, so that you can actually demonstrate, execute the knowledge creation in your organization. But creating new knowledge is not good enough. It's not sufficient. You have to do more than that. First, for driving innovation, you have to create new knowledge. Okay? But that knowledge should be shared. Knowledge sharing. And you have to utilize that knowledge beyond functions, beyond regional boundaries. And the knowledge is a key asset, key source for the competitive advantages, for companies, for individuals, for countries. Therefore, you have to protect it. Especially, knowledge is created by people. So you try to retain excellent people so that they can continue to develop new knowledge in your organization. Therefore, protection should be done, for you to gain and sustain competitive advantages. Then finally, the very important but difficult activity, discarding knowledge. Because, your knowledge might be obsolete in the future. If that time comes, you have to discard that knowledge. But that's very difficult because all the habits die hard. All the habits die hard. So therefore, discarding knowledge is quite different. But without that, you cannot do new knowledge creation. So these activities should be done. So the knowledge management is comprised of these 4 activities. But these 4 activities should be accompanied by enabling conditions. Because, the knowledge organizational barriers never disappear. It is easy to talk about the necessity for sharing knowledge beyond functions, okay, beyond the regional boundaries, but that's not so easy. That's not so easy. Because organization, is kind of the vertically organized, vertically managed. Therefore, horizontal coordination is very difficult. So therefore, the sharing, it's easy to talk about the necessity for sharing knowledge, but actually it is a bit difficult to achieve it. So therefore, and also many people talk about the necessity for sharing best practices, but it is not so easy to do it. Because if you want to use best practices, you have to admit your practices are not so good. You have to admit other practices, other behaviors, the practices done by others might be better than yours. Then you may be facing kind of psychological barrier. So the sharing best practices does not happen so easily. So therefore, the point is the 4 activities should be shared by the enabling conditions. Enabling conditions. What are they? Culture of care, culture of sharing. You have to create, the culture, good culture, so that sharing will be happening quite easily. Sounds like it is difficult, but you can do it because only leaders can create a new culture. If you want to create a new culture, show it through your new behaviors, through your new mindset. Finally, let me go to the conclusions. Today, this is a session for Phronetic leadership. The leadership for demonstrating the innovation, driving innovation. And for that purpose, I emphasize the importance of vision. Vision. Another name for vision is a dream with a deadline. Vision is a dream, but it should be executed. For that purpose, it should be shown with a clear time target. It should be shown with a clear time target. Vision is your idea. Who you want to be. Okay, it should be self-transcending. You have to go beyond yourself if you want to achieve vision. This is a key lessons from IBM and Honda. If you want to drive innovation, you have to innovate yourself. You have to change yourself. So therefore, the wish should be led by strong leadership. But you have to repeat these essential questions. What do we exist for? What do we want to do? So the vision, but also vision should be stretched. And because if it is truly stretched, which requires the vision should be achieved by innovation. So in order to drive innovation, you have to develop a very stretched, ambitious vision. But the vision should be achieved. So for that purpose, you have to do these activities. First, you have to go to the future first. You have to go to the future first. You have to develop the very appealing, strong vision. Then you have to come back to the present situation. Don't try to analyze the current situation before developing a vision. Because you spend so much for analyzing the current situation, you may see so many constraints, so many obstacles, then it may be difficult for you to come up with a very ambitious vision. Therefore, you have to go to the future first. Then you have to come back to the present. Then you can see a big gap between your vision and the current status. So a gap, wide gap, because you have to solve so many issues so that your vision will be achieved. So then you have to develop the solid action plan for you to solve those issues. But don't forget the importance of setting a clear priority among those issues. Because whenever you want to drive changes, you are going to face resistance. People may stick to the current situation. You have to you have to overcome the resistance. The best medicine, best countermeasure for overcoming resistance is early win. Early win. You have to get the early win. So you have to think about where you can get the early win. So by doing this kind of analysis, you can develop a very good, the list of the issues with very clear, the priorities. So let's go to the future first. Then let's go back to the present. This is called backward visioning. It's again, this is very powerful tool for you to come up with the vision. Everything for the execution. Vision should be executed. But in driving innovation, you have to go to the future. Then you have to come back to the present situation. Yep, I think that's it. And I hope that today I talk about the Phronetic leadership, the leadership for driving innovation, and especially in the first phase, I did a case study of IBM and Nestle, new global companies, which is chasing for the social innovation, and which is driven by Phronetic leaders. And also in the second part, I did a short case study of Honda. And with that, I want to show how you can execute the vision with the STAR model. And finally, I talk about the definition for knowledge, and also I show the circuit process. And finally, at the end, I came back to the importance of the vision, and which should be the driving force for you for innovation. Okay. And I hope that my session is quite useful, and so that you can drive innovation in your organization. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much, Professor, for your interesting and useful lecture for this seminar. And now it's time for the Q&A session. Welcome for any question if you have. Just raise your hand. You have 20 minutes for the Q&A. So just raise your hand, then my team will hand you the microphone.
Hi, my name is Pratna. I'm in human resource. My question is, if he stopped reading, he stopped learning, he doesn't want it. So how should we motivate? How could we? Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, you should not force change. Motivation should be coming internally. Okay. So for that purpose, it may be the very quite useful for you to discuss, to offer the opportunity for them to discuss the vision together. If they are involved, they may be showing the stronger motivation. So they try to involve people in driving innovation. They don't try to impose the vision from top down. They try to get people involved. So then the innovation will be coming internally. So this is my suggestion. And people may make a mistake many times. In order to get motivation, you want to do so many things. And or they're doing the training session for motivation, but then people may have some difficulty in getting stronger motivation. Motivation should be coming internally. So for that purpose, you have to have the opportunity for them to discuss, to create a future themselves. Then the motivation will come internally. Yeah.
Maybe which side first?
Okay, thank you. First of all, I personally appreciate your presentation. It is a very interesting topic about the new concept of leadership. And I'm come from Worldfish. It's an international organization, research organization. I'm a corporate service manager. So your presentation, I noticed that for about the IBM, through the 100 years of experience, the company experienced the loss in 1991, 1992, right? And was it caused by the wrong innovation, or what the reason of the loss? And my question is, how could we be sure that our innovation will be added value to the existing business, or maybe how we are in the track and right track to be successful in the future? And another question, how should we balance the cost of investment in innovation? Because innovation, new idea, dream, it costs money. You develop a dream, but the dream cannot be realized. It costs. How you balance the business cost of the business and innovation? Thank you.
Yeah, the failure for IBM in the 1980s is kind of a good example for the so-called innovator's dilemma. They were so successful in the mainframe business, and this is a good example for the importance of the star model. So they have the kind of the vision for developing the mainframe, and then they have the appropriate organization for selling mainframe, and also they have the appropriate work processes for selling mainframe, and also the metrics and talent. So everything for them to sell big computers. But all of a sudden, so many changes did occur in the computer industry, and therefore, they have to change the kind of the vision, and they have to change the organization, but which could not be done by IBM so easily because of their big successes in the mainframe computer industry. Therefore, this is the kind of typical case for the innovator's dilemma. They were so, because of their big successes, they could not make a good adaptation to the changing environment. So this is a key issue for the very successful companies. So, but therefore, they should be aware of the crisis, the potential crisis coming from this innovator's dilemma. Then the key issue is how to avoid the innovator's dilemma. So first, you have to kind of so two sets of the organization might be necessary. One for the current business, the other one for the new businesses. And this is the case for Nestle. Let me introduce one concrete example. Nestle has been so successful in the soluble coffee, selling Nescafe. So they had a big business for selling Nescafe. But profit from Nescafe is shrinking recently. So therefore, they want to do innovation. And for that purpose, they created a completely new organization being separated from the Nescafe core business. So new business is called Nespresso. Do you know this business? And Nespresso is the third innovation in the coffee industry. It is called portion coffee. And it might be hybrid for between the roast ground coffee and the soluble coffee. It's completely new, and it's very profitable. It's premium business. So the Nestle intentionally had a clear separation, clear distance between the Nestle core business for Nescafe and the Nespresso. So by having the clear separation, they could achieve both. Okay, keeping the Nescafe without killing Nescafe. Also growing new businesses, Nespresso. So clear separation, kind of the clear distance between the core businesses and new venture might be quite essential to avoid innovator's dilemma. But that business should get a big support from the top management. Okay? Should the top management buy-in from the top management? Without the top management buy-in from the top management, that business will not be successful. Okay? Also, again, the importance of the keeping the core business. This kind of cash cow, so you can get lots of good money from keeping growing the current core businesses, but profit margin might be shrinking. But you have to keep it. But at the same time, you try to drive new innovation. Again, in order to get the success in that business, career separation is indispensable. So this is a good case study of the Nespresso, and it may be worth reading. So therefore, Nestle is a good example for overcoming the crisis coming from the so-called innovator's dilemma.
Okay, my name Tu from CNG TV. Today I'm very happy because today answer my question 20 years ago. I cannot find the answer because I see the motorbike Dream Honda. They put Dream on that motorcycle. But I say why they put Dream on that motorcycle? But today you answer my question, so I'm very happy. But the dream we compare the same as vision. Vision is dream, dream is vision. My question, I have two questions. Can you compare personal vision, business organizational vision, national vision, and global vision? And one more question. What is your personal vision? Do you achieve your vision? That's all, my question. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, the vision, key element for business organization, public organization, for country. So the vision is a key driving force for individuals, for organizations, for countries. And the vision should be, truly ambitious. The exciting vision should be created at the level of the country, at the level of the organization, at the level of the individual. Okay? So the vision is indispensable. And the vision is not prediction. Vision is not actual. Vision is your intention for the future. But that vision should be shared by others. So they're starting from your individual idea, individual vision, but which should be sympathized by others. So that your vision will be the common vision. And with that, the execution will be coming closer to that vision. So the importance of vision for every organization, country, companies, individual. And in my personal vision, so I wanted to be global scholars, and but that vision will be never achieved. So therefore, I have to make the effort every day, and so that but vision is never achieved. Actually, vision is going up every day, and that is good for me because in order to achieve the vision, I have to change myself, and I have to get new learning. I have to meet new people. So from those new experiences, I can innovate myself. So in that sense, vision should not be achieved, never, ever. Yeah, thank you.
So thank you. Yes, the last question, please.
Yes, good morning, Professor, and to all here. Just in this seminar, I found very interesting is about the CSV, or the creating shared value. You have said that CSR is gone already. So my question is, what is the biggest, let's say, challenge to the corporations in terms of implementing CSV? Because CSR is about citizenship, philanthropy, and sustainability. So this is really a shift from a kind of giving away, and then this one is involving the community to create value. So what do you think would be the biggest challenge for the companies in terms of implementation? Thank you. And by the way, I am Gina Lopez from the University of Cambodia. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, the challenge for companies in implementing the CSV concept is identifying the right agenda for the company, because the CSV should integrate everything in the organization, and it should be aligned with this competitive advantage. So therefore, the companies, in order to execute CSV concept, they have to develop good strategy. They have to think about how to differentiate their business, how unique they are. So they have to make a strategic choice to set the agenda for driving CSV. And that means each agenda should be unique. But identifying this kind of unique agenda is not so easy. Therefore, so many companies fail in developing good strategy. Okay? Doing something different is the cornerstone for developing good strategy, but that's very difficult. So the key challenge is identify the strategic agenda for companies so that they can execute the CSV concept, and so that they can win by implementing the CSV concept. This is a key challenge, I think.
Thank you. Okay, one more questions for the last one because of the time.
Thank you very much, Professor Kazuo Ichiyo. Very good presentation and very impressive. Thank you very much. My question is, can we compare to the Phronetic leadership to the Eight Noble Paths of Buddha? Because I found that it's so similar. It means the first one is right understanding. I mean, learning the nature of reality and the truth about life. 2, right aspiration, making the commitment to living in such a way that our suffering. 3, right effort, just do it, no issues. Right speech, speaking the truth in a helpful and compassionate way. 5, right conduct, living a life consistent with our value. 6, right livelihood, earning a living in a way that doesn't hurt others. 7, right mindfulness, recognizing the value of the moment, living where we are. And the last one is right concentration, expanding our consciousness through meditation. I found these 8 similar to the characteristic of the Phronetic leadership. Could you explain this? Thank you very much.
Yeah, first, the concept of the Phronetic leadership is religious free. But you are right. There should be the common element between the concept of the Phronetic leadership and the Buddhism or Christianity. Because the religion is for the better society, for the happiness of the people. There should be common element between for example, Buddhism and the Phronetic leadership. This is a very good, very strong. Thank you for this question. I want to send a big message to you. So the Buddhism, you believe in this, religion. That means you are in a better position to demonstrate Phronetic leadership. That means you can demonstrate innovation. You can drive innovation because of the religion. So therefore, I think this country might be the best place for demonstrating the Phronetic leadership and the driving innovation. And then you may be able to lead the world for the better society, for the happiness of the people. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. Because of the time, now it's almost 12 noon. So thank you so much, Professor, for your lecture. And thank you for your attention from all the participants here. So before moving to the end of the seminar, I would like to request all of you, please fill in the questionnaire that attached with the handout and submit to our team before you leave. Then now may I invite Mr. Kum Eun, Director of CJCC, to have the closing remark to the seminar, please.
So first of all, So joining me in thanking Professor Ichijo for his time and effort coming all the way from Japan to share his kind of wisdom to all of us today. So please. And the second, also please join me in thanking JICA for making this workshop possible. So thank you very much, Mr. Isaki, JICA Chief Representative, for your presence the whole morning as well. And last of all, of course, thanks to all of us who could manage to stay here for the whole morning, although probably we cannot catch 100% of what Professor have delivered because of the conceptual, a lot of conceptual kind of framework or complication of the subject itself. But Professor have experience and managed to convey the message to us successfully. So congratulations to all of us. So I personally feel that this we call special workshop is timely, especially when our country has come to a place or like a sort of like a junction, where required everyone to take action, especially those who are in the leadership level. So I think this half morning presentation will not convey all the precise message, but I think this is just the start. If you all agree and feel that this is important, I think we can continue working together. Or, for example, maybe we can request JICA to arrange a similar a series of workshops so that we can explore this concept a bit more. Is with agreement from JICA, then we can go further. So everyone, I could just summarize this morning into probably just a few words, especially I think we all know from IBM a lot of time that we spent this morning, but the core message is to think. And I think all of us probably we have done a lot, but probably thinking is think and think again and think again. So in Japanese concept, we ask why 5 times or even 7 times. Why you do that? Why this happen? When problem arise in our workplace, we have to ask why 5 times or 7 times to find out the real root so that the problem can be cured. So the second word that I think that is still not, we still have the question, what is phronetic? And some of us try 2-3 dictionary, but it's not there because it's from Aristotle. So it's a kind of practical wisdom. So acting at the right moment, seize the opportunity, make the right decision. So I may compare to like when we are in the middle of conversation and we want to joke. If you miss only 2 seconds, the opportunity for making joke in the middle of the conversation has gone. So I think it's similar concept. Phronetic leader is the one who really sees the opportunity. So I think in Cambodia, now the opportunity has arrived. So start from today, start from now. We have to turn ourselves to be phronetic, but that's not enough. We have to develop or expand phronetic leadership within our organization. So I think actually there are 3 groups of people who can create knowledge within our organization. One is the top management, second is the middle management, and the last is the all staff. So the top management is the one who has such leadership, phronetic quality. So we can ask ourselves, I think most of you are head of institution, public and private. Ask yourself, have you become phronetic yet? And if not yet, how to become? I think it's a subject of research, further investigation. It's not that today everything is clarified, going back and certify. I think maybe some of you are certified, I'm sure, to a certain level, but not probably to the level that you probably expect from home, that after this morning, when you go back, and then you transform yourself into Phronetic leader. I think not yet, only just the beginning of the process. So only your action tomorrow that can take you to there. So the second group is the middle manager. Middle management, not just manager. Manager is a company, but middle management in the ministry, in the government level, has a very important role to translate, to convey the vision, the dream from the leader, into actual plan, practical plan. So that is the job of the manager. And of course, the last person who join in creating knowledge is all people in the organization. So all people should be aware that knowledge can be created through interaction. And when we interact, there are some problem, positive, negative, agreement and disagreement. Don't be upset. This is the way to creating knowledge. Again, I compare the knowledge creation to like, it is good to have somebody to agree with you. It is also good to have somebody disagree with you, to challenge with you as a boss, because this is a plus and minus. If you are a boss, you can create or make use the minus and the plus into something useful, new idea. Can I compare to battery? Every day now we need battery. Our telephone, our car, we need battery. Where does it come from? Battery is made up of plus and minus. If we only have plus and no minus, can we make it? Maybe no. So I think duality is reality. At any place, there are positive and negative, agree and disagree. So please create, environment where your staff can sit together, talk together, share idea, because your staff like having a piece of jigsaw, and they need to put together to see the real picture, to create new knowledge. So I'm sorry, Professor, that it's just because I have also attended a workshop in Japan for 10 days about this subject, so allow me to share just this very briefly. But again, I think I cannot clarify everything, only just the beginning. I think let's grow this leadership style in our country. With the help further assistance from JICA and coordination work from CJCC, I am sure that we can move this knowledge creation company forward. So everyone, once again, allow me to thank Professor Ichicho and JICA and all participants today. And I wish all of you success in your mission, in the creating of knowledge in your organization. Thank you very much.